Hello and welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to be covering the tracks that I've added since the last video. Now, I will not be including the tracks that I've covered in brief course runs, just the ones that I've added since the last video covering game development. So those courses are Tsuchikawatoge and Fast Hill Course. Tsuchikawatoge is obviously an addition to the other Toge courses, and the Fast Hill Course is another of the snowy courses part of the game. Now, the Fast Hill Course is a very short track. You could probably do it all in under a minute, and it didn't take too long to fully decorate and make. But it is quite interesting. It's got a very nice long straightaway, which is quite fun, and it's also got a little bit of a jump. Which is unique, I guess, because I haven't had a lot of jumps in many of the tracks, if at all. So, yeah. Now, Tsuchikawatoge is interesting for its own reasons. Tsuchikawatoge is probably the most I've done in Blender before importing it into Roblox and decorating it from there on. One that would be close is the only Australia course in the game right now, but there was a lot of tweaking and editing that had to go into Tsuchikawa to get it out and playable. Now, there were a lot of issues with colliders. Yeah, let's cover that. So, collider issues were largely down to the fact that you have to use a plugin to add collisions to meshes in Roblox. And this is a bit of a time-consuming process. It basically means that you have to export the thing in multiple formats, import the FBX, and then open the plugin to create the collisions using an OBJ file format. And you have to split up the meshes if you want different colliders for the grass and the asphalt so that you have different particle effects when touching either one. And then you have to layer them on top of each other as close as you can get generally to get convincing collisions, I guess. And the issues were everything was really bouncy. I can't really describe that accurately, but if you had played the course before I had finally fixed it, you would know exactly what I mean. You would hit stuff and the front of the car would go flying up into the air. And this would be a pain because you couldn't really do much. And this was largely due to the fact that the collisions plugin takes into account the normals, and I had the normals facing the wrong way for one thing, and I was spawning in the colliders too small. So due to the fact that Roblox only lets you get the parts down to a certain small size, which is 0.05, it was, when you scaled it up, it was intersecting, I guess, so it wasn't smooth. So this is a bit of a pain. I had to scale it up and make sure all the normals were facing the right way, and that took me way too long to figure out, which meant it took a while to get that course actually working. But when I did, it wasn't too bad. Decorating Tsuchikawa was also a bit of a task because I had done so much prior to importing it. It was a bit of a different layout than I was used to, so spawning trees in was a bit different, and everything was not quite the same as usual. So it required a bit of a different way of going about things, and I ended up adding a lot of things that I wouldn't normally add, which actually made the track quite interesting to go through. It's not a perfect track, and I may redo some of the textures in the future, but I think it turned out quite good, and I'm quite pleased with it. One last thing to mention is that I've finally gotten back to working on the longest track coming to the game, that being the second Australia map to come, and it is essentially focused around a lake kind of thing in the center, with the tracks basically going up in size around the outside. Very poor description, I know. But it should be the longest track by quite a while, just because it's how many turns and stuff. But yeah, it should be really interesting, and should be a lot of fun. I just actually have to finish that. So hopefully that will be at least drivable by the next video. I hope to get a lot done in the next coming days. So yeah, look out for more progress. I'll be constantly working on stuff. See you in the next video. Thank you for watching.